wanted to target a little bit more of non-Collapse heroes. They let Collapse go as Magnus, and I thought that it was not a bad idea. I don't think Collapse had the usual Magnus impact. Maybe he didn't need it, maybe he didn't get there. Toph was able to pick up an early Yule Scepter, but I think I just want them to do that, but there was a time where like they had the triple wave with Quinn. I want them to play even more for the mid pressure, because Laurel I don't know, the guy's too good, he had too good a game.
I would like Gladiators get back to the idea of super pressure, super tempo, crazy, super fast, super strong lanes. I think that potentially might work. Yeah, something like this, you need to risk at some point, right? You're 0-2, they definitely have it. Like they definitely gave a very good fights in both games. Like both games, they actually gave good fights. They had good lanes and stuff. Yeah, but this last game was rough to play after some point because Void Magnus is just too strong. Like when it comes to late game. So I hope this time maybe we just go super tempo.
I definitely agree with Dindy on that one. The way Gaimin Gladiators got here was with that tempo, pushing the high ground. It felt like in that last game they kind of fell back. Like, we don't really want to do that. Instead, we're going to try and match you in the late game, pick up a Duraccio Morphling. And he played pretty amazing for the most part. Had a couple bad deaths, but overall, like, you're playing into how Team Spirit wants to play at that point. You're not really playing the game that got you into this grand finals in particular. So we'll see if they go ahead and do that. But the problem is, I think when you play against Team Spirit right now, there's like a triple threat here. It's like you have to deal with Collapse, which they've been trying to do through bans. And then I think what really leveled up Spirit is Laurel. He's just playing so good every game. And you see Quinn, he's normally taking control of the map. He's like making moves. He hasn't been able to in these last two games because Laurel's having a great laning stage. And of course, there's always Yatoro, who's going to pick the CK, but you don't even know if it's his. He's strategically taking away a lot of Duracio's heroes, making them feel a bit uncomfortable. So there's a lot of things they're doing on a strategic level and in game that it's just really hard for gaming to address.
So what do you think, Gaimin, if we want to see this early aggression from them, what is the first pick of the game? Do you just go for the celery end sharing, or like, okay, full focus on early laning stage and putting that pressure? Your Chen was obviously banned that you've had a great success with in that macro strategy. Is the entry into CK even appealing to start off?
I think it's normally like a decent matchup for CK because he's actually one of the heroes that can kill Ench pretty easily when you bring her out of position. But honestly, I sort of like that line of thought. I think at this tournament, they usually pick Ench with Weaver, just because it gives the Ench a really strong lane. Once you give Ench a strong lane, can snowball the other lanes, you can leave it alone. But I don't mind that if they pick another strong carry with it.
Okay, there's the AA we were looking for in both of the previous games, and this time Gaimin are going to bring it out. Does this fit the bill for you guys? Not a strong laner.
Not a strong laner, not a fast tempo hero, but it can buff really well like other heroes that you can have in a draft. Vortex is extremely strong, also it shut down a lot of like fat heroes with Bayern, Heart of Tarask and stuff, so might see something. If you build up a strong like carry that fits AA on lane, it can still be pretty strong lane.
Yeah, I think the hero, he just has a lot of range, so he keeps clicking, right? If the lane is stable and you get to just keep clicking your opponent, his lane's like not weak or anything. He's going to constantly harass on the region. I think generally what AA picks mean is that they want to play with their mid. Generally when you pick AA, you pick some high damage mid and they just sort of run around together. You get stacks and then they play together. You get stacks, you get played together. And I think that's also something that we saw a lot from Gladiators in this tournament is they would play a lot off these stacks. I think the AA could be a good start for that.
Look at that stat. This is their first time playing the hero this tournament. They haven't brought out the AA a single time, so really digging deep here in the final game, or I say the final game, what could be the final game for them. To look at it from the other perspective, Team Spirit, this is probably a surprise for them, given the circumstances that there hasn't been a single AA from Gladiators. Do you change any sort of approach on the Spirit side? I guess, like you guys said, maybe you want to keep the CK flex. What are your next two go-to picks to make this AA feel bad?
Laning stage, I think the last time they ran this, they're probably looking at a Dark Willow for Spirit to lane it. That lane seemed incredibly strong. I'm not sure who's going to play the CK. They might keep it open for a while. It is a little annoying to play CK versus AA in some ways because the armlet issue, you can't really toggle that. So that could be annoying. But then again, the Phantasm does delete AA pretty quickly, so I could see this being an off-lane CK if Yatoro finds a better pick for himself. But I think the Dark Willow is definitely something they're looking at.
I would really like it if they pick Dark Willow. I think what you said about the 3 CK sounds good as well because AA can keep clicking the CK, but as soon as it's level 3 or 4, these clicks aren't going to do anything to him at all.
Yeah, AA afraid of mobile heroes and heroes who are very fast and can jump backlines and stuff like this. So we can see already Primal and back bans, and CK is one of those heroes actually. It's pretty like fast hero, it gets into backlines pretty fast. So heroes who doesn't afraid in some sense, maybe TB can work again for Team Spirit. because you always can swap HP, like even if you're under a ulti. Yeah.
I think they're going to pick 18 Spectre. Like, they should start to look at it. I don't know if they will for sure, but I liked what you said about like getting these backline jumpers. I think Yatoro, he played a lot of Spectre. I mean, he played some at this tournament, but he was playing a lot of Spectre in pubs. He always goes for some really high damage builds. He'll go like Bloodthorn, Manta. Like, he never goes for some like tanky build at all. He just looks to the backline. I guess Grimstroke does something similar that you were saying as well, right? Just giving you a really high kill threat lane. You want to make sure that the CK is at least open as a flex or the 18 pick.
Yeah, I think they go for that because it's a lot better versus the Pango than the Willow would be, right? You can get the leash on him and then he can get stuck. So same thing in the laning stage, though. It's really strong, get on top of him, lots of damage. Just Grim is better for this particular game.
Trant is in again. This was a Hero Spirit ran against Pango last time, but they are going to go for the Tusk.
Tusky.
Are we committed here to a 5 Tusk for this reason? Has Mira been playing Grim? He has, right? They've both played both of these heroes, so this for Team Spirit, I believe, is a complete flex among their support players.
Mira has not played Tusk yet, so it's mostly 100% Pochka so far.
Did he not play Tusk in game 1? Am I...
Well, he played it in the last game, but outside of that, I suppose.
Right, outside of this series. Okay, got it, yeah.
My notes are outdated from the last.
I'm sure they can flex it perfectly well. I think... Actually, Morta's not banned in this series, which is so surprising because, I mean, they broke Gaimin's confidence in the hero a bit because I think Tofu played literally every game on this hero before that.
Radiant's turn to pick.
You just go back
Dire's turn to pick.
because it does what you need him to do, right?
Death in the face.
I feel like you just have so many issues with Gaimin's other heroes that you feel like you don't have to ban it because you have to ban so many other things in this game, like the Necro, the Phoenix, the Chen, all these heals, and this is really good banning, I think, by Team Spirit, even the Kunkka. These lineups where you see them group up, be able to push, they're not being able to get them because you have to deal with the heroes that you see in front of you, and some of your best heroes to do these pushes are just being banned out by Team Spirit. So they're going to play the Brewmaster. The only question I do have, yet again, is this Pango too early? Is it too early of a Pango game? Will he have a game? Right now it looks like they only have one answer for him, but I expect more to come. Is there any mid laners potentially, Dindy, that can punish that's left in the pool?
Oh, for sure. There is a bunch. Like this hero become not as strong as it used to be. It's actually a pretty strong lane still.
Dire's turn to
there's the
pick.
dazzle.
Here we go, a lane Punisher. If I decide to put it mid, I can still think about it. It's weird to see sometimes healers picked into A, but I think the purpose is especially like having these insanely strong lanes. They can still do post-free dazzle if we decide, though. I don't know, like if Collapse is gonna play it or
10
not.
seconds.
I'm curious because one hero that comes to my mind
5
that
seconds
both
left.
teams ignoring second, I think, all games is Spirit Breaker, right? We all talked how imbalanced and broken this hero is, and now we don't see it much because even here I saw, okay, we have Grimstroke, maybe potentially, who knows? There is not so many heroes to stop it if you think about it.
Yeah, I can see the Spear Breaker, especially since I think there's like a mechanic with Brewmaster where the Brewlings take the creep damage from the charge, so you actually kill like over half their HP even after Brewmaster's 20 time. One interaction with the Dazzle versus Aid, I think swings the matchup a little bit, is you can actually permagrave someone if they get AOT'd. As soon as you hit 18 on Dazzle, so it's not as much of like a, oh, they can all in no matter what with this AO on one target.
What do you guys make of Spirit's approach to dealing with Gaimin Gladiators, which, I mean, if you look at the Gaimin lineup, it seems very
10
teamfight centric,
seconds.
right? You've got Pango, you've got Brewmaster ult. Are you a little concerned for Gaimin Gladiators having
seconds
downtime
left.
when they have cooldown on this? You look at Spirit's lineup, it seems very fast, very low cooldown. It can play in duos, trios. Do you think by design this Dazzle fits that playstyle really well?
For sure, and I would add up here that both previous game and this game so far, what bothers me in Gaimin Gladiators draft is they don't really have saves in their lineup. If you look at Team Spirit lineup, they already have
Radiant's
two,
turn
and
to
usually
pick.
on like middle game, late game, this is one of the most important things that you have in your lineups. So not only like big cooldowns like on Brew or something like this, but also like saves. I think it's often can be like a game changer.
Speaking of saves, I think Gaimin probably needs to ban Centaur
10
in this
seconds.
game. This could be a really good hero. Like, you see the roll come out, you see the split come
5
out.
seconds left.
Some Centaur Stampede can disengage that really well. I think they need another hero that... I was kind of looking at Yatoro's hero pool. I'm not seeing anything much better versus the Brewmaster than the CK right now. Potentially it was like a Morphling, but then you're playing versus AA, Weaver's band.
Just like a Night Stalker.
Carry?
Yeah, I think Nightfall pulled that out a couple times. I could actually see Yatoro playing in a game like this. It's actually a really good Night Stalker carry game.
agree on that. That
It's
looks
dire,
amazing
man.
if they go for it. It's very hard to play with this lineup so far against Night Stalker carry. You don't have so many reliable stuns, I would say, on Gladiators yet. Like you have a lot of some skill shots that you need to aim, so it can create a problem. Yeah, also by the way, Grim is also safe if you think about it, right? His
10
shard is
seconds.
used so efficiently at TI so far.
Yeah, we saw it in the last game as well.
5
Like,
seconds
I guess
left.
the only question is like, they probably are wanting a ranged hero because you do have Tusk potentially 5, and I don't know if CK Tusk lane is gonna cut it. I guess they could do it.
I think just because they see the AA, they might feel like they can greed it out. Like they have a 5 that doesn't really prevent the carry from getting all in, and that can protect themselves. So you can like play for the kills in lane with something like a CK Tusk. I could see them just go for the range route with the Tusker 5, though. I think they'd have really strong lanes that way as well.
It seems like Gaimin Gladiators have the same mindset with this Dawnbreaker ban, right? This is a hero combination that we saw other teams run earlier in the tournament. The Tusk Dawn as a dual lane, just absolutely obliterating weak 5s. So it does seem like Gaimin are still in that mindset of this CK is going to be the carry. As you guys pointed out, I don't even think CK Tusk is going to struggle here unless that carry last pick from Gaimin
5
really solves that
seconds
lane.
left.
Because AA does not like this matchup.
Honestly, I just like this last hero from Team Spirit to sort of solidify their team fights. I feel like right now they actually have a chance that they can run over in team fights. I think Pango, Brewmaster, and Mortar are all really strong
Radiant's
heroes.
turn to
Oh,
pick.
okay. Well, it was time. Bendy wanted it, he got it.
Oh, it's a beautiful lineup here. Spirit Breaker Grim looks very scary, very scary. Also, it's BKB Pierce once again, which is very strong in a lot of situations.
Yeah, I think
10
the
seconds.
carry pull, I think the trolling band and the void kind of can signify that you want
5
this CK to
seconds
be your
left.
carry. So they're going for that offline route, not going for the centaur, going for the spear breaker, which Brewmaster, I guess you have a dispel, which helps a little bit against that if you can get it off on time. But we've seen time and time again in the late game, it doesn't really matter. You have like a BKB, Octarine Core, and like a refresher orb, so you can't really deal with that. So this has been a collapse special throughout like the entirety of this TI, and he's really good at it, and it looks pretty scary here. I will say the Gaimin's lineup, it looks pretty good though so far. I think whenever you play against Dazzle, having that AA is really good if you can
Choose a
ever
hero
commit
or
on him.
something.
We have a Spectre.
Gonna round it out with a Spectre, so giving maybe some skirmishing potential to Gaimin Gladiators. You have a carry that can join globally. Was this just a matter of, okay, there's nothing left?
Is the lane going to be okay? Is there?
Yeah, honestly, I'm really worried for Gladiators. I feel like every time I've seen Spear Breaker have a good lane, this hero's like the most unreal imbo of the patch.
Yeah, Spectre A is one of the best combinations in the game for ages, and I don't think anything changed in that, because both heroes complement each other very well. But at the same time, the lineup on Team Spirit looks crazy in late game if it's the game delays.
All right, seems like we're grasping. Are we grasping at straws for Gaimin Gladiators? Is this actually going to be that difficult of a safe plane, or maybe some sort of hope with rotation
5
from
seconds
maybe
left.
a gating where it could offset this balance in the top lane? Can you leave Brewmaster alone for a minute to try to help, or do you need to get really creative?
I think a lot can happen in this game, and I think a lot's going to come from the mid lane. And can Quinn get rotations, and can they abuse Laurel this game? Because I think Laurel is very exploitable in this game with A ult, Spectre ult, and if he feeds a lot of net worth back, that could be a way back into the game.
Yeah, I can completely see that. If one lane starts getting pressured, like you have the Spectre to add on, the Pango there probably is going to be the strongest hero in the game when he gets his role. So they do have a lot of angles on Gladiators to snowball off that.
So I guess, I mean, not to sound like a broken record, but we're very focused on the laning stage as per usual in this series. If you're in Quinn's shoes in this game, obviously you've had a couple of games that did not go according to plan, right? Let's talk a little bit about the mentality of him going up against what we assume will be a very unfavorable matchup against Laurel and the Dazzle. What do you think Quinn is telling his team right now? Is it, all right, I'm going to be struggling, but I'll come back, or I need help for sure in this game?
It's actually not that bad for Pango. It's one of the better heroes to sustain against Dazzle, because you have 2 jumps to jump away from its poison attacks. So I think Quinn is extremely experienced and he will be fine.
All right, guys, Gaimin Gladiators, they are on the ropes. I'm sure Team Spirit are feeling themselves right now, and let's see if it is the same for their coach, Silent.
Thank you very much. I am joined by Silent of Team Spirit, where around 2 years ago, you were in a very similar spot. It was Grand Finals, TI-10 in Bucharest. You were up 2 games. Now, a lot has changed since then, but it hasn't changed for your team. The energy from 2 years ago to now, does anything feel different?
No, I think we feel the same. You need to be focused and play till the end. It doesn't matter lead you or losing. Same. You don't like to, okay, we're leading it to the arrow, we can make some YOLO plays.
A championship mentality through and through, but I know one thing that's different. 2 years ago, you didn't have a crowd. But this time, I think they're ready for a game number 3.
Good for you. 30 seconds to showtime. If you're not
And
already
we are
hit
certainly
somewhere,
ready for a game
now's the time
number
to start.
3. Though we certainly don't want to end it here. Seattle, do we want to see some more Dota? Here in the Cathedral in Seattle, we may just be witnessing the final game of the Grand Finals, but I'm sure a lot of us hope for so much more. And that all depends on Gaimin Gladiators. I mean, they have been the ones to run the gauntlet through all of these majors. They were looking like the best team of the year until they ran into Team Spirit. Until Team Spirit ramped up in just the right time, shown up for championships, and they have only lost 2 games in this entire tournament. They're 43-7 in their last 50. This team is looking unstoppable. Is there anything Gaimin Gladiators can do to hold this momentum, even just a little bit?
You have to play Dota. There's no way around it. You have to meet this team on their plane and give them a taste of their own medicine, because you can't have a plan, but everybody has a plan until Team Spirit punches you in the face. And right now, you're laying on the ground trying to figure out what the hell just happened in the first 2 games. Your plan did not work. Whatever you thought it was going to happen in the games 1 and 2, it fell flat. So right now, Team Spirit are in control of this draft meta. They're in control of the series, and they're dictating the pace of these games. They're dictating the team fight. So you have to meet them there and beat them. You have to outplay them. You have to start winning these team fights, scaling into the late game. You're not going to run this team over, which means you got to find some more momentum going past that 30 or 40 minute mark. It's not been Gaimin's MO this entire low bracket run, but hey, you're in a dire situation in Grand Final. You don't have another chance here. You are at the total limit. So figure it out fast, make the adjustments, and get cranking. This is a draft that is heading in that direction, right? A lot more team fight, a lot more scaling presence. Spectre AA here designed to put Yatoro in a tough position. We've seen the AA be a counter to CK for a lot of this tournament in terms of limiting the lifesteal interactions. Of course, it can also have a huge impact versus the Dazzle as this game progresses into the late game. So I think these are much more even lineups in terms of what happens past the 40 or 50 minute mark. There's not some crazy inevitable scale outside of maybe Dazzle Spearbreaker doing crazy Dazzle Spearbreaker things, and Celery in trouble
in the bottom lane, and that is going to be your first blood. Collapse, claim it with a bash.
You just achieved first blood. Thanks and have
goes
fun.
a long way. A classic Team Spirit strategy going back to their first TI victory.
Courier is
Courier
dead.
pick off as well. Look at that,
Wonder what
Duracho even
idiot
like
got it.
taking himself outside the lane to block the hard camp, because this lane is already going a little bit awkward for them. The mid lane's not looking much better. We're 12-4 on Laurel over this melee. Range versus melee matchup, it's not a fun one. You should expect the Dazzle to win, but Laurel is already taking a commanding lead. And then we've got your Toro, 11-2. Now the Brewmaster is keeping pace, but he's certainly not slowing down the carry of Team Spirit. So Gaimin Gladiators got to be able to hold this momentum a little bit further here. Bit of damage onto Ace. They're turning it back around, but Tofu's here to be able to help him out. Nice shot to get the extra bit of damage on 2 heroes.
Double proc, win the war of attrition. I think these silence can go fine for Gaimin over the course of the lanes. They don't look too terrifying to me. I think the Brew can fight back with the help of Ortha, just a very tough hero to trade into. That mid lane is what I'm worried about though, right? It's Dazzle versus a melee. I mean, Pango has some escape mechanisms, but if you get some roam going through with the poison adding up, it can be deadly.
Every single time Zeller wants to be able to stop that hard camp opportunity, he does risk being caught up by Mira and Collapse. This time around, he's fine. The shard inadvertently kind of helps him out as he's pushed underneath his tower.
Just try and get as many pulls off as you can in this lane. Boost the XP up for both heroes as they both really want anything here. You're not going to be able to shut Collapse down, which, I mean, that's a worrying factor, right? A Spear Breaker with absolute free from time of fast latest is what Collapse is going to have here. He's going to have his choice. Being quite powerful going into that mid game. So you got to be able to strike back in these small skirmishes, get the ults up, particularly the Brewmaster trying to split. Flint Thunder here, very powerful spells. If you can get them fast. And of course, A Blast coming in on top of it with Vortex, amping up all this magic damage. Put that mini haunt to use on the step.
Real quickly, want to give a shout out to our observers, hardworking observers who've been keeping us through this entire tournament. Ace making some trouble here, but Moshka, he's trying to dodge all these ghosts. He doesn't want to leave the calling. He'll take that extra bit of damage and try and risk it, but he does end up falling as a result. And now Ace, he'll have some risk here. Tofu, beautiful dead shot to push him back in, and Gaimin Gladiators, a very clutch fight there for them. Tofu and Ace get a big win in their off lane.
That's the strength of the word, the dual lane that they're looking for. This is why Zero's been a first pick for them for a lot of these series. They're very confident in what Tofu can do in the early game. And now he has some roam options. I don't think you can leave Ace in the 1-on-2, but if you can get some breathing room like this and look towards mid, maybe you can get some damage poke, helps skew this lane back in Quinn's favor. Because he is still getting, 31 and 10 on Laurel, almost double Quinn up here. He got the courier as well. And with a slight misstep will hurt his regen variant. That just means more pressure going to build up between Laurel and his melee foe. Just not much you can do against the poison touch here.
Yeah, this is looking like Quinn kind of needs one of his supports to die just to make all that model. Celery may grant him that wish. He's going to get a double blood grenade before he goes, so this may be a fair trade-off. Interaction to claim his life, and he does manage to get it. Puts an early level into that Desolate is just the added damage they need.
Honestly, I think Celery's okay with it. Solo XP for Dirachi on a Spectre. He gets to collect all these creeps under the tower without any pressure. Pretty happy about that exchange with a very defensive-oriented lane where, what are you doing aggressive with a Spectre? It's all about getting farm and XP down here.
And there's that TP rotation to fill out Quinn's bottle. And try and help with the 6-minute rune. See if he's able to do so, but Team Spirit not going to worry about the runes here. They try to look at this off-lane situation where Ace and Tofu are doing pretty well for themselves. They bring 3 heroes to the matter to bring down Ace if they can get him. Slow down with a blood grenade. They only need a couple more hits. They've got more blood where that came from, apparently. Gives them over that Lotus, and that's enough.
Evasion with the haze, enough for Ace to just walk up here.
I lied. They do care about that power move because they brought collapse to secure it. Not just that, but a kill on the win.
It's just going to secure the double check for Laurel. He's going to walk all the way top and get himself a shield rune. Winning this matchup to good news, giving Quinn a taste of his own medicine here with the roll. Maybe not expected out of the offlaner, but that is a hell of a rotation from collapse. It gets a lot of momentum going into this Dazzle right now. And this is a pressure point you're going to have to respond to. And this is a hero that scales very hard in Dota right now. Pretty strong early game for Team Spirit. Right back, but with a nice rotation, just eyeing his Laurel here. Get the hit back.
If you're just going to keep dying in your lane, you might as well rotate out of it, even if it means you're doing it pre-level 6. So, as you can see, anybody who shows up in the mid lane is going to be run over by the Dazzle, especially if you get the extra vision of like a tough snowball, Spirit Breaker charge. You just can't get away from this poison touch hit. So,
no, especially with these wards behind the tower already. Deep observer for Team Spirit behind Gaimin Tier 1. Collapse having a chuckle about that.
Yeah, but that was all because Quinn tipped him before the charge even completed. Quinn knew what was coming. He could do nothing to stop it.
Daddy's top tower might be going
Could
down.
have picked a real hero.
It's always an option.
Just saying.
4-4, 7.5 minutes in. Do we trade off wisdom runes? Yeah.
Yes, that was the one upside of them going on mid. You guarantee the wisdom trade, which Celery's definitely happy about. I mean, you're saying he's like happy to soak up XP here, but it is a weird position for an AA rather than just be pulling. Nothing else is happening.
So leaving Dirachi alone in the bottom lane. What? A really good use of the dagger will get him over that one flip area, and Tofu can get some damage back in return. No threat of anybody dying, but a decent punish, and will allow Dirachi to clean up some CS. But he is being pushed out of lane. Mira's not giving up on it just yet.
And Poshka even rotating down here, potentially throwing that Ink Swell into the Breaker. I mean, this is a combination we also saw when Breaker was hot that last patch. The Team Spirit were very comfortable playing the Ink Swell Breaker across the map, giving you the guaranteed setup. This is what the CK is designed to help facilitate. Push the lanes in with CK illusions, be a ghost on the map, and all of a sudden you get one kickoff and your map just collapses. Right? On the flip side, Gaimin trying to do something similar. If you can set anything up with a primal split or the rolling thunder, then suddenly Dirachi can come in and clean house. And this is a smoke designed to find a Toro, but nobody's home.
They juke him out with a phantasm.
Pretty good move.
He sent it back instead, and Quinn and Ace will bite down on that, but it doesn't matter too much. That they still get some pretty good damage onto the tower. One thing to note about that Ink Swell combination with the Spirit Breaker, thought they were going to go on to Mira, but Mira's going through the portal. They don't have a stun to stop him. He hits the other side. Duraccio pursues.
Dagger doesn't hit him.
Yeah, he's pretty damn slow, and he's gonna hit him with another dagger. Mira, he needs the help from the Spirit Breaker. He has a snowball.
Tower's about
Moment.
to be radiant.
Collapse. Pops open. He immediately goes to the kill on his own. See if they can trade things out. That actually protects him there. Collapse doesn't want to trade 2-for-1, so he's gonna go ahead and give up on that. They cannot afford to give any more kills to this Duraccio Spectre.
Gonna rotate Marl on him. They really want to punish Duraccio. There it is. Coming back.
Maintaining the stars and adding up on the damage. Spear Breaker got that 5% bump. The movement speed and damage got bumped up by 5%. That was enough to bring him back into the meta, but that's even more. He's added this Inkswell movement speed bump.
It's a deadly combination for a reason. I like that rotation from Laurel. That's such a heads-up read there. He just walked down the lane. There's no vision here. They probably had a read because Celery's been mid the whole time, right? He's gonna
Power's in trouble.
Gonna go. It's not really killing the Spectre. Nice shard to buy some time.
Good driving by Quinn. Gets around that little speed bump in the way. Hopefully Duraccio can finish him up, but not quite. No, Shell Gray puts in for wall. Perfect timing there. Quinn does manage to get some decent damage on Toro, and here, he makes the difference. He makes it some team fight. No longer fight bad. It's an overwhelming amount of team fight that he'll put to work to bring down Toro. It looks like he's going to chase down Mapochka. Miro really trying for this one. He might just get himself killed in the process. Will it be good enough? Mapochka still dies, and sure enough, Mira, he's going to be in trouble as well. Good use of the shard, blocking him out, but he still falls. Cannot stop. Gaimin Gladiators and K-Bring all by learning from Team Spirit, perhaps. The only way to beat these guys in a team fight is you got to bring everybody to the table.
And that's why I think this draft feels a lot better for them to play. They can connect the heroes a lot faster. The Spectre facilitates that at a tremendous rate. And then Ace is just on a hero where even if his lane phase wasn't spectacular, it has been this game. That primal split to a fast radius is going to get all the team fight they need. The CK does not have free engagement, where I felt like in the first two games, Yatoro's connections were plus counters, right? He goes in with a Weaver, goes in with a Faces where he gets what he wants and gets out. This game, Yatoro finds himself in a pickle mid where he just can't escape. He's the price and only 3 start for Yatoro got up here. Perhaps one of the rougher early games we've seen for the entire tournament. That is a very good position for Gaimin to be in.
Which means
down a lot of the pace.
Marl's going to have to pick up that little bit of slack, right?
Yes.
He's going to have to step in with this Dazzle, but the Dazzle, I feel like, isn't a hero you really want to utilize just yet. It feels like that Aghanim Scepter is such a key timing. You can't afford to delay that by getting into some risky engagements.
And this hero is like Tinker in some ways. His first item, kind of easy to get to. You're a powerhouse when you get it, but then you fall into a valley, and it's like the next 2 or 3 you have to get to before you really come on ultra late, and those team fights start to become impossible for the enemy. That is a period where Gaimin can strike with this Radiance, which is gonna be coming out fast on Ace this game. Just take the team fight to Team Spirit, which is where, again, you have to beat this team. You have to be willing to take the final 5s and win them and translate it into objectives. You can't just go for the other first.
Radiants are scanning
Across
for
the map,
enemy.
they failed to get the initiation on Collapse. We're going to try and join Quinn for the power run. Quinn's going to need that help too. He sounds up, the poison touch, the Inkswell's on top of him, but just needs to get away with the squash muscle just in time. The charge is going to complete. Collapse, he's got his ultimate, he may not even need it though. The poison touch slowed him down so much. Mapochka's getting a TP on the shot. Oh, it's so close, but it runs out. He doesn't get there in time, and now a snowball on the other side to meet Duraccio, as it is now him who is surrounded by Team Spirit heroes. Too many to count.
And that is a Midas Chaos Knight coming in and cleaning up the enemy carry there. It's get some XP, a much better turnaround for him as opposed to the last river fight where they were still missing that tier 1, so maybe a smoking connection that Quinn and the game just didn't expect, considering, you know, they're missing that objective that went down in the previous fight.
Yep.
Radiant's middle tower is under
But it
attack.
seems like Team Spirit take advantage of that bit of an overload from Quinn. And now Collapse, highest net worth in the game, but Gaimin Gladiators don't want to slow down just yet. They still have that Rolling Thunder, didn't use it in the last fight, so Tofu and Celery think to themselves that if they can get the right kind of initiation here with the Rolling Thunder, they can follow it up with the Ice Blast, but Yatoro, oh, he's in the staircase, they're going to be very awkward. Oh my goodness, actually lands onto the two of them, and Spectre jumps in over it. Well, please tell me they're going to hit him. Oh, they finally got it.
And the bounty will go down. It wasn't even the blast, it was like an urn kick or something that caught him in the end. Post that grave. That was a nasty soul bind, something they're going to have to think about with Duraccio haunting in.
Ace is so close to his Radiance, he could not afford to get picked off here, so at the first sign of danger, he uses his Primal Split. So you can see the Spirit Breakers pretty good answer to those Brewlings. No threat of dying here, but something to think about later into the game.
But normally the Dispel and Tornado is a problem for this hero, but doesn't look like it so far. And like you said, Radiant's 300 off for Ace. He just wants to get his big item and get the farm rate going. Still having a very good game on this Brewmaster.
Yeah, considering the lone druid game where he was so close to the Radiance for so long, I don't think he wants to risk that happening again.
And Radiance is an incredibly powerful item in this meta. It's better the faster you get it. In a lot of those games, Ace just didn't get it at a time where he could take the map where the fight's over with it. This is going to be a game where he has a very good chance to do that. As Yatoro still behind, right? Yeah, this is a double minus lineup for Team Spirit. They have one on the CK, one on the Spear Breaker, which, you know, has become the de facto build for the XP getting to the late game talents. It's going to slow the team fight presence down. I really feel like if Gaimin can get a fight going in the next 2 to 3 minutes here, they're pretty favored, especially with Diffusal and Radiance coming out at the same time. This is a huge damage power spike. You want to get something going with it, and you want to get it going now.
They go for it. The Radiance is complete though on Ace, but they know the Primal Split is on cooldown.
Yeah, this is a beefy target to just go into, especially when you don't have the global ability to connect. I mean, how much does Collapse think he can jump through here?
Tofu just left him alone.
Radiance
Tofu was needed field to interrupt this combination, but now Ace is left alone. Speeds himself away. Some of the Inkswell didn't go off in time, but Mapochka didn't pop that one. Okay, now it's my opportunity. Hello, Mapochka. Almost got it with a fear shot there on the left-hand side, but Mapochka still dies. Collapse zone trouble as it charges.
Calculations not on point here. Yeah, he could have just charged the other side of the map. Maybe he didn't have a good target, but it was a bit late. He was collecting 3 actions. He got an important kill too. Gaimin Gladiators with the ice blast on top of him.
Now, Collapse and low. Very much needed to be able to buy Yatoro's time. Now they both fallen.
And now you're making every triangle. This is where Gaimin want to strike. They want to strike hard on the map right now. Gain a lot of the momentum in this game. They have the supports to follow up on the core initiations. They have a crap ton of damage in the tank. As long as they can see heroes. And with Darajo able to join any of these goes, suddenly this map has collapsed pretty fast for Team Spirit. And Axe on the Dazzle. Try and stem some of this bleeding, but right now this crowd. They want to see a game 4. They want to see Gaimin strike back in this game 3. And they are delivering.
Yeah, I'm not even convinced those are all Gaimin Gladiators fans. They might just be Dota fans who want to be able to see more from a grand finals between these two teams, but it's still a long road ahead for Gaimin Gladiators because they're only 2K net worth up. They've hit some timings, yes, but they still have to worry about the double hand of Midas. They have to play this clean. They need to be able to get good execution. Plus, they can't afford to use any takeoff. Shot goes down, looking for more. The Dazzle was shown there when getting in front of him. Blocks him out with the swat hook, slows him down with the inhibitor, and then he kills the blade, allows Darajo to do the damage. He's on the Shell Ray. He really wants to win off the win. Will he get it? Poison touch. He's got a regen. A little bit given over to him as well. Good place for Gaimin Gladiators. Give him the extra bit of regen he needs, and now he can pop the regeneration in his
Max efficiency right now. All Team Spirit can do is cut some waves with their double minus heroes and good late. Because right now it is all Gaimin on the momentum chart. And a full Vessel was completed very fast here from Tofu. That even gives you more damage. Vessel plus A Blast is nasty in these team fights when you're throwing the vortexes down. Particularly versus Dazzle, who wants to just heal through with the inverse waves and get that going.
Yeah, you've got Dazzle, you've got the Inkswell heal that, you know, would have been a factor if it wasn't for the anti-heal they have. And then also the Chaos Strike, that light skill they need the Chaos Knight so dependent on. And there is no downtime for this lineup. Looking to burn down a mana. He's trying to get a see if he can charge his way out of there, but he's silenced up by calling from the corner. And then they use that Storm Panda to be able to catch more. Oh, gonna die as well. No footing in this game.
Ace making his presence felt, and this was with a second item to travel, so this isn't even some like Aurora item.
Looks like he didn't have a way back to the base, so he tried to skirt on through Gaimin Gladiator side of the map, but he was spotted, and he will be brought down.
Spectre combination working no wonders right now. Ace is 5-0 and 10. Completely unstoppable. And you can't bring the CK in to really help you here. The Brew is just great versus the hero with the Radiance Burn, the AoE miss. He has the evasion that Yatoro can't pierce. And not to mention his ult going, start messing up these CK illusions.
Yeah, the Radiance and the Dispel. Yeah, the Chaos Knight's gonna...
So, what are your options? You have to just wait until Yatoro's ready to fight. I think you have to split the map with the Breaker. This is where Gaimin can continue to try and pick you off. Put the Vessel to use, put the Radiance to use. And of course, Darajo, he's on a hero that doesn't have to farm up some crazy stacks. He doesn't have to go in the fight first. He can just farm the defensive parts of the map. If nothing happens, he's still happy. He's still got a Spectre.
Dire's top tower is about to be Radiant's top rubble.
Trump for Tofu just to buff up the team fight even more here.
Dire's top tower is
also
under
having
attack.
a perfect game so far.
Radiant's bottom
The
tower
calling
is
is
under
not the
attack.
spell that these Team Spirit heroes want to fight into. It's annoying for Mira going in with the snowball.
Dire's
It's
top tower is
annoying
under
trying to run
attack.
in and grave people on low-level grave.
Dire's structures are fortified.
This team fight is very obnoxious right now, and it's going to collect the
Dire's
tier 2.
top tower is under attack.
So it's tier 2 in 19 minutes for Gaimin Gladiators.
Dire's top tower
They can
ain't
actually
a
take
tower no
away
more.
that outpost. Got a pretty good chokehold on the map. They
Radiant are
desperately need
scanning
now
for
is
enemies.
just not to slip up anywhere. Not allow Team Spirit in opening. As they're building up this net worth lead, it may become insurmountable as long as Team Spirit doesn't pull anything sneaky here. They smoke up. It slips right past Team Spirit. Now, the high ground ward immediately spots Mapocho. And Darachu recognizes that that is the girl what's in first in the dead shot. That's over to Toro. And hit by the Rolling Thunder. He's trapped, caught, and there's nowhere to go from there. Too many disables on the side of Gaimin Gladiators. And they have way too much damage. They need the BKBs on the side of Team Spirit, but they're not going to get them anytime soon.
He had him. Oh,
He had
no.
it.
That was a BKB. He disassembled him all. He just didn't want to pop it. He didn't have Phantasm. There's no turnaround there. Yeah. He'll choose to save it for another day. That is the 5th death for Yatoro here, who is yet to make a single kill in this game.
Hey, there's the dazzle play though. 20 minutes on the dot. They're going to use the couriers to use the Aghanim Shadow Wave. He could solo up that.
That's the better shard I think they were hoping for.
Oh, yeah.
Deep Swell shard from Aposhka going to be pretty damn nice here. Try and dispel these melee heroes when they go in. Still, I feel like
Dire's
Team
middle
Spirit, you're trying to
tower is
wrap this
under
game out
attack.
right now. And that is a big paradigm shift from games 1 and 2.
Yeah, how do you wrap though against a Spectre and, well, you got this Quinn. He is running around with a Pangolier. You're not going to be able to solo in a lane for very long. It only takes a few seconds for Gaimin Gladiators to spot the opportunities. Jump onto you, an Ice Blast not needed.
Unstoppable.
Has the damage necessary to kill the support by himself.
And the nice thing about what's happening right now for Gaimin is his Spectre is doing an amazing job protecting their wards. One of the biggest things you have to combat when you're playing as Team Spirit is the vision advantage. They had it a lot in game 1 with that tree protector. They've used it pretty damn well in game 2. Here, it's Maposhka trying to get out, get vision for the team to deward these aggressive obs that are doing work for Gaimin because they know they're there. They're getting Haunted on. Yeah, the cooldown is just so damn low by the time you're back. By the time you run there to try and gain anything, they're ready to jump on you again.
Looks to be disintegrated.
Yeah, I mean, there's always a little Spectre bias in the win probability. I think that's fair to say, but this is the best Gaimin has looked in this series by a large degree. They're continuing to build the momentum.
And he can continue to build the single target items. Since Ace is build the Radiant, so he can just focus on being able to take out a support in a second. He's going to build into an Orchid up next, so now if you're spotted anywhere on the map, Darachu can guarantee that the Grimshoke dies, or the Tusk dies, or maybe even some of the cores.
Hey, where's
He's gonna
Dire's
pop
bottom
it here,
tower?
looking for Mira.
Yeah.
Just get the vision on him. They'll spot him now, and there it is. They jump immediately. Snowball tries to put the work, but it just means he's gonna be dragged back in. Does make a good shot, but Darachu doesn't care about your blocks there. The Ice Shard does nothing.
Dominating
He has
performance.
free
Dominating.
pathing.
Spirit just bleeding out right now. They have no answer to the Spectre on the map. Their supports are way too squishy. They don't have an early Mortify. There's no Beastmaster or anything to help protect the backline on the map or help them get things out. All 3 of these cores are just building for themselves, right? It's damage items into PvP. You have 2 Minuses that are still trying to get the work done. Collapse will try and find a pickoff on Tofu, and this will combine with Maposhka, so they strike back a little bit on the map. Much needed. And finally, they're getting some deep vision out as well. You look at these dire obs. It took Maposhka a while, but these are some visions that they can play around at least. Though, of course, the second you get spotted...
It's
Dire's middle tower is
somehow
under
doesn't get
attack.
spotted by Quinn there. And they have to charge back in. Are they really going to try this a second time? He's got an armor room. It's so much shield he's got. Maposha's just going to stay hidden here. The charge canceled by the Spirit Breaker.
Rolling Thunder very far away. He's just going to initiate from 3,000.
Yeah, because at any point in time, the Spectre can join him as soon as he gets that initiation. But they don't quite catch him. The Ice Blast is going to be stretched out. Toro takes it out. Yeah, he's going to go for Darachu. With the double he will break down. He will use his own hand to take Awakening in a second here. He just needs his blink up and he gets him with the dicto. Swashbuckler over the side, silence on him. The ghost remains with Quinn. He tries to go for a roll-up play, but he's got nowhere to roll away to. Stuck in the corner, gets the chance to Swashbuckler too many heroes.
Really nice scan to finish up that fight, and I mean, a little overextension there under a tier 2 gives a really good fight to Yatoro. He's dispelled a lot of the illusions, instantly dealt with some of the DPS, but Ink Swells, the shards, all these little spells adding up, and of course Baracho going down first. That's a lot of the damage that's been working for you. Downside of this Orchid build, right? The pickoff game is where it's strong. The 5-on-5, this Orchid's not doing anything for you into the early BKBs here. Team Spirit strike back, and just like that, somehow Yatoro is top of the board with from 0-5 to highest net worth. The Midas and the illusions are doing work on the map right now.
I remember this was double Midas lineup plus a Dazzle, the hidden Tinker. This lineup is gonna start ramping up pretty damn quickly if you give them the space to work with. And right now they've got 3 cores farming in 3 different parts of the map after a successful team fight. Gaimin Gladiators, they cannot afford any more slip-ups. They've got Roshan still to be taken here in 25 minutes in.
It's also time for Maposka to be forward. One of the problems they were facing earlier in this game, suddenly he can run around with his courier, place a bunch of sentries, make sure there's not the deep vision. Yeah, Gaimin were playing off of earlier. So now it shifts the onus back onto Gaimin in terms of you gotta make an aggressive smoke, get vision back on the map, and keep setting up these pickoff plays for Dyrachio, who's the one maybe getting picked off here. Zator just walks in flying. Get a 3-second
snowballs on into Roger, they treat that corner, gets over the base, to get the shot break. BKB, but a beautiful sharp block on some of these heroes is not enough. And now with the toss up in the air, ball comes down to a hard reality. Right now he doesn't have the BKB. Around him, it's still a punch. He is not going to die so easily. Gladiators not there. He'll break down to Roger before he finally falls. Stuck though in the silence. The buyback required from Gaimin Gladiators because Laurel was too tough of a nut to crack.
That looks way closer than it should have been. These inverse heals are doing bad work at the end of the fight. Have to respect the burst that come out with this Dazzle when that A blast has been used earlier on, but still great team fight from Gaimin. Starting out with Yatoro just walking blind into their triangle. They were ready for it. Shadowblade did not help them out in that type of fight, and that Ice Blast, it was a beautiful accelerator land from everybody forces to disengage, and the calling silence Mira on this jump, right? This is the problematic aspect of this support matchup. When you go in with the Tuskar, this AoE silence clips you, your team fight's just a nightmare. Beautiful shards on the flip to block off the Pandas from Laurel. Another really heads-up play, but damn, the damage is already done at this point, and now it's just a matter of cleaning up. Sounds easier than it actually looks like.
All of those solutions and rulings play against Gaimin Gladiators the worst way, and in the end, Laurel Living does get Dyrachio killed, so
have to push him out full speed up on top of this Dazzle the later portions of these fights, but I mean, luckily, that's all the primal split, right? The second ace comes out, he's still full, he's still got Manta Radiance, he's ready to party. He just slaps some extra kills down for the full team wipe here. Just when this game was slipping up a little bit of momentum, Gaimin strike back, get themselves a full 5-man wipe, get the Roshan, but Aegis out on Quinn here, who's slowly getting towards that Axe. That team fight definitely helps, still 500 off here, but that's going to be a large damage ramp. Shadow Step comes out.
Dyrachio trying to do this solo. It's a bit dangerous. Collapse. They're going to try and turn back around. They do have the Ice Blast. They'll finish off here pretty easily. Careful with damage. Wait, Toro. He comes in. Swipes down Dyrachio. But the rest of the team is now here from Gaimin Gladiators looking for the catch, but Collapse has already rolled away. They have no stuns. Collapse breaks free.
Straight through the man's heart. He did not care. He just walks it off. Can't really get much closer than that. And once more, Yatoro, he finds an angle in the fight, cleans up the Racho, and gets the hell out. That is a full silver edge reveal done.
And now, Aegis is going to be taken away from Quinn.
Oh, the pickoff game is shifting, right?
Yes, it is. They're not respecting the Shadow Blades, not respecting the aggression, but the Ghost Scepter stalls him up. Collapses Toro. Actually, at more BKB, they do catch the It's going to work, though. They keep stalling out Yatoro. Now that his BKB is on cooldown, now their magic damage can really go to work, and they can slice and dice through that clear pretty damn quickly. Maposka, obviously, he doesn't have much limit through this, so the fight does turn against them. Not the worst, though, for Team Spirit, I would say, just purely the fact that they're continuing to
And their other 2 cores are farming the map.
Yes.
And they've got to be happy with like the next 10 minutes here. This is when the Dazzle and the Break are going to come online. They've recovered some of the lost network differential here. These heroes get very spooky around the 3rd to 4th item. They're going to get them damn fast as Collapse is just farming up the map. But Yatoro's aggression used against him here. He'll get the return carry kill. That was a cocky move going up that hill and just taking the fight with his BKB.
Dire structures are fortified.
Just opted. Blood for blood. Why not? We're in the arena.
I love that Dyrachio still not slowing down. He may die every once in a while, but he said, you know, ultimately the end game is okay with me. We're still getting some good trade-offs in fights. I'm still going to try and limit your split push like going on whenever we can.
Doesn't want to let him get away with a tier 2 3.
That's right, AB. They stick on top of with the sounds of the stuns. It's enough win. It's stunned up for so long. And now Toku's going to be in trouble. It's fine. That just kind of delays things a little bit, but there's no one coming to save them.
If you're in these fights, it's probably a right now you're getting outnumbered and it's tier 2, you overextend on well, no master ultimate for that type of fight. As strong as Ace is right now on full AC completed on top of everything else, he does want this ult to take the long engagement, right? He is the most farmed hero in this game right now. If you're gaming, you have to play around with what he wants to do, where he wants to take the fight, what he can commit to. Otherwise, you're just creating an opening for Spears to come in and pick you off. Or once more looking for the initiation with 2 heroes dead, you'll get scouted on an off sentry.
This is something that started to happen in that game too, where they managed to get, like, it was that one pick off on Celery, right? Where it's like they used the Chronosphere, picked off Celery, and it was like, okay, Chrono for a 5 position. But then they kept that going. You're like, okay, it's 4 versus 5. Then they found another pickoff and another pickoff, and it just so quickly snowballed against them. Gaimin Gladiators, you gotta beware. The team spirit will keep this aggression on point if they think they have the advantage.
And another Tormentor swiftly dealt with. Laurel and the Courier brothers over here.
That'll just mean this Chaos Bolt is all the more deadly for some of these supports.
And we can see how Yatoro wants to take these fights, right? Create confusion with his ult going through on lane, show up with a Silver Edge, get up, pick off, maybe reset. He doesn't have to come in into the full 5-on-5 into the Brew and Pango, which can control him in that type of situation.
Oh, he got stunned! Oh, no!
Radiant's bottom tower is
landed on a pebble there, and as a result, Mapochka gets a 3 TP on out of there. Smoke that's ruined, a Rolling Thunder that's used for nothing.
Interesting little tree.
The tree's just powerful.
One of the primal forces in Dota.
First glyphs, then trees. Quinn's having a...
Quinn's having a tough time with the terrain
He's
today.
fighting Team Spirit, he's fighting
the map, yeah.
Dire
Happens to the best
scanning
of
for
us.
enemies.
Another pick off the table miss, which is time for the Midases to go to work, right?
Yeah.
They have been cranking this whole time and climbing the charts. This game is a 1K net worth lead now at 32 minutes. Dead even. Everything depends on these team fights. Collapse just
They're
getting
getting the right kind of initiation here. Quinn on the run here. They made us jump after him. Laurel chasing after him with that shard to be able to slow him down. Yeah, he's not going anywhere. 3 down inside of Gaimin Gladiators, and Team Spirit has changed this game. The narrative was supposed to be Gaimin Gladiators controlling it and seeing if they had ended, but Team Spirit turned this all back around in the space of just 5 to 7 minutes.
And this is the Spirit Breaker problem. What happens when you enter the mid-game and this hero starts to take over the lane? Mega farm, and suddenly one charge is now half your HP. Peakswell just makes this combo even more aggressive.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
The only real answer is you just start the fight on your terms with the Primal Split going in with a Haunt and delete the supports. Create a situation where you have numbers advantage even when the charge comes through. You don't care because you have the longevity and ace to deal with it. If you're just getting caught in the open like that, it's a death sentence. Right now, collapsing, just running the map, literally. He's getting 6-slotted very fast. The question is, you have good late game answers to the Spirit Breaker here if you're gaming. Outside of tossing him in the air and dispelling him before BKB, not really right now. Those traditional answers like a Shadow Demon or a Soul Mine, which is on the Spirit side.
Yep. And that'll be a problem, especially if Collapse is able to use that charge to kill those groupings.
Radiant's top
That
tower
charge
is about to topple.
damage is pretty heavy. 31 to 22, 4,000 net worth lead for Team Spirit. As they have managed to turn this game around in continue to dodge attempts by Gaimin Gladiators. You can see the wind has been taken out of the Gaimin Gladiator sail. Duracio's not playing with that same kind of fearless that he once was, where anytime a hero showed up, he would just instantly jump and see if he could get the kill.
Yeah, the map is just going dark.
Radiant's
You have
bottom
one
tower needs
defensive
a
off in
hand.
Gaimin, but those days of where you were picking people off on Spirit side of the map have come
Radiant
and
are
gone.
scanning for
You're now
enemies.
entering their portion of the game. You kind of have to get around this. You can go late here. Spectre plus the Brewmaster, especially with how much farm aces found in this game, are going to continue to scale pretty damn hard. And of course, you always have this option of like tossing the Dazzle in the fight with the Wind Panda and taking the fight that way. It's a pretty damn good option, a pretty good way to deal with Dazzle in a lot of the historic matchups between these two heroes.
Radiant's bottom tower
You gotta
needs a
keep scaling on
hand.
everybody. The Morta and the AA skill is really important here for you. If you get a fourth core out of this Morta, which Tofu has a full link, he's very far. None of it is like direct Morta damage. He doesn't have like an Axe or Mjolnir or Silver Edge of his own, but you can only expect so much. Still, it will deal a decent amount of damage.
Radiant's
You can
bottom
lock
tower
heroes in the
needs a
calling
hand.
post BKB. That's the dream. Little pump fake action.
Radiant's
Next
bottom
fight
tower
coming up,
is under
all
attack.
about Roshan. 10 seconds till that potential spawn time, and we'll see when he's actually going to show up.
Also, Celery went back for this Ancient Apparition Blink, something we see develop in this meta. He is looking for that AA blast on the big cores. The Dazzle and the CK especially, that is who he wants to hit. Cannot get Snowball dodged. You can't really just AA ult some random supports. It's not going to be good enough to win the fight. You need to connect this ult on a big target. Collapse, he's just going to lead the charge with here. Not afraid of too much. Both carries on the other side of the map.
Look at him just running in there.
This is a fight without Yatoro.
Ooh, that ward somehow slips past detection. Oh, no, he's got it. Breaks the link, gets him with the dispel off the old scepter, but it's going to cost Celery his life. Does have fly back. He's going to fight for his win. Off the mark there with his blink in, trying to get some heroes, but they've already popped their BKBs and are resetting a little bit. Celery, he's going to try and walk back into this fight. He's got to be careful, though. He get caught by Collapse. He spots him. Now the tower. Yeah, that is gone. No more Ice Blast for you to be able to use. Ace has to use something. He knew Yatoro was gunning for him there. And he could have been stunned up. Now they back away. Rival Split being used. If they can get everybody out, it's a dream for Team Spirit. Collapse is making that momentum, though. Pushed back by the Void Panda. Now hit by the Orchid. If they can kill Collapse, that'd be great. He has so many dispels. No heal. Mirror coming in. Going for the back line. The back goes big. And Yatoro. He destroys him. So he's laid out. Damage on the Durant. And they can't turn this one around. Spirit and Echo Beast on the Brewmaster last.
Team fight decision-making. Smart stabbing the Kitey. Dealing with the whole thing. They can look way too easy right now. So many charges going through from Collapse. He is up on the high line and he was getting it.
That was a fight for Roshan, but it is now a fight to hit high ground.
I mean, that's a fight for ages.
Uh-oh.
What are you going to do if you don't have the buyback, so you're not willing to commit them right here? You don't have the primal split of aces back. You have the buyback. People are short on so many levels right now. That's how brutally, because he knew the link is going back up. Just to get back in there, get another charge. Speed is absolutely exploding in the Team Spirit. They are sensing potentially a second Aegis going their way.
Barracks is spawned.
One left barracks and a Roshan to take. Team Spirit, they still have time on the clock. 30 seconds left on the Brewmaster's revive. That is more than enough to get this. Hanging Acceptor hand and Crystallis. They were winning that fight. Now they've got like 10,000 more gold of items to be able to use. Today just using all these other items flowing in. Now he's got to do so with the Hanging Acceptor and Silver Edge.
Coming out on Collapse, so even more match on the guy. You thought this spear break was causing you problems. Double now. Just no control for him, and he's way too tanky to try and burst. Duraccio is just not doing enough single target DPS at this point.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
You're gonna need one hell of a long drawn out fight.
Team Spirit, crazy. They're up 2-0 in this series. They're down in this game 3. They have a 5% chance to make it back in. Sure, they could just give it up, say, well, guys, it's a best of 5. We can give them one. But they claw their way back into this game, are now in a commanding position. to potentially 3-0 the challengers in Gaimin Gladiators.
Radiant's
That's
bottom
what makes this
tower
team
needs a hand.
absolutely terrifying at this point in the tournament. So already, all these teams
tower
talk
is
about it,
falling.
right? If you get ahead of this team, what does it mean? It just means when they might beat you, it feels even worse. Right now, this game has turned itself on the head, as you said.
Dire's middle
Over
tower
20k
is under
lead,
attack.
is up for 4 minutes. It'll be up to Yatoro in terms of whether he wants to push the high ground during this interval and try and end this game. He feels like he needs even more. Still a lot of room to grow here. They did finish up an Ags on Baboshka as well, so now you can start to get some Dark Portraits in the mix. Just add even more chaos into the fight. More damage sources. Yatoro, blink it away. No fear.
Can't get caught. Otherwise, that is welcoming team spirit into your base. Charge complete. Half his health. Fuel scepter is going to be used nicely for you with that Lincoln's, but it did use that bulldoze towards the end there.
These are just free. They have the ways to kick collapse out every time. There's a Lincoln's, there's a Swell, there's Four Staff's Grave. Yatoro's gonna take his chance.
Teasing right now. Oh, man. The Sensi's already gone. They do have an Ice Splash, though. Wait up the grip shot. He's not too bad. Mr. Rancho, he needs to get out of there. Oh, my God, that's so much.
I have his
Dodge damage.
They're unstoppable.
With this now.
Double
But
kill.
he has passed against the hole. They have to be able to take away this Aegis at the bare minimum. Surely they have to go for more. They have to risk it. Collapse going to charge on through to make sure you can't sit up on Yatoro. Now Yatoro will turn back around on you. He's ready for that fight. He pulls back into Rancho. This is the end for Gaimin Gladiators. Just let him run way out of it. He's dead next. Now to Rancho. I got back for him. Last man standing for Gaimin Gladiators.
It will be a one-man stand against what is looking like the best team in the world right now. Absolutely, as they take a commanding team fight victory inside Gaimin base. No buyback on the Brewmaster there. They just delete the highest net worth hero for Gaimin straight off the bat. No turnaround potential, and you are running out of lives. You are running out of games to play here. That's team spirit. They don't want to just be the best team in the world. They want to prove that they are one of the best teams ever to grace this stage right now. They are showing why. They're going to go for the Vegas play and see. And Ags is on here. He's about to kick this team straight out of the tournament if he has his way. And they're going to go right for the throw.
Quick reaction, throw away, impact play away, just one little opening is all it takes with Mira lurking from behind.
Ace back up. We'll see what he can do to stall this out. Gonna be one hell of a primal split here.
Toro starts pushing forward. Mira doesn't quite get it there. They actually sell the Spirit Breaker right from their base. But lost it by the charge. Quickly all about around him, but now he's still close. He's ultimate play. He can't do anything against that. But he's the master hand. And then they kick out. The focus is slow. And now he's going to Gaimin Gladiators feel like they are not going to be able to get through this. They have to pray to get out. But the Cathedral is merciless. And his team spirit will unstoppable. Silence every other team. 3-0.
Absolutely an incredible performance in the grand finals against the best team in the season, an undefeated